Andrew, you're not from Sydney.
No.
Where did you come from today?
Adelaide. Flew in this morning, 6 a.m.
How does it feel to be at the Art Gallery of New South Wales?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I come every year, especially for the Archibald, but this is the first time of the loading dock, so
yeah, fabulous.
Really looking forward to it.
And I love this work. Can you tell me a little bit about this portrait?
This is Kate Hubmaier. She's a children's author and environmentalist. So we actually met at maternity ward at the hospital, so our babies at the same time. And in her books, she teaches children to collect seeds and pine cones, and they create little animals out of them. So the children get to use their own creativity to make their own toys using nature. So not only does she go into primary schools and sets up that community gardens, and so the school kids learn how to grow and make their own vegetables, they make their own toys out of what they find in the garden. I just wanted to do something that was enjoyable to look at, like a fun, somebody smiling. There's no political statement behind it, and nothing tragic. It's just she's such a nice person, and I wanted a nice portrait. That's it.
So this is an acrylic painting of Merivale Hems. She is the mother of CEO Justin Hems, the owner of Merivale itself. It's a huge hospitality company in Australia. I already knew vaguely some things about her. She used to be a milliner in Sydney, and her husband that passed away, unfortunately, her and John Hems, they actually had multiple shops in the Sydney CBD in Pitt Street, and they're very well known. And they were called Merivale as a hat shop, and then they turned into a fashion brand. But then their son turned it into a hospitality company. And when I met her, she is just the most vibrant and excited woman. She has the brightest soul I've ever seen. When we were talking about what to include, she wanted this pot, and this is also like a sculpture of a parrot. And she's had these things for a while. And she's also very well known for her glasses. She's had them for years. And I just wanted to put as much colour possible to show how she truly is as a person.
And you were saying that you only just started painting it, a month ago? Is
that
right?
A month ago. I've been painting my whole life, but I just started this painting a month ago. Pretty much, yeah.
Have you entered before?
No, I haven't.
Oh, how exciting. Yeah. Oh, good luck with it.
Thank you.
So this is called Horizons. I took a photo out the plane window as the sun was setting, or rising actually, and I think the reason why I loved it is it actually captures very different perspectives of Sydney, that down the bottom you're looking almost down, and then in the middle you're looking across the harbour and then up into the skyscape.
The Blue Mountains more or less in the background?
Yes, and a very tiny dot, if I can find it, but there is a very tiny dot in the background, there it is, that's actually where I live. So the idea I had is wherever this painting ends up hanging or being, that I can always see where my home is. But like I said, I just wanted to capture Sydney in a different light. It's actually my 50th year, and so I'm painting the portrait aged 50 years, but it's also duplicate, it's also a portrait of my father. My father is currently going through shocking Alzheimer's, so I was trying to reflect parts of him as well as parts of myself. So I called it Lamentation, which it reflects a work that was actually done by Rembrandt, which is one of my dad's favourite pieces, which is St. Jeremiah lamenting the fall of Jerusalem. And it's very similar pose. So there's actually a lot of little subliminal weaves all throughout it, yeah.
Has your dad seen it?
Dad has seen it, and he cried and gave me his blessing. It's actually been a wonderful experience.
Simon, unfortunately I haven't seen the original painting. I just saw an image of the wonderful painting you've put into the wind today. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
The painting is called No Mooring, in brackets Romantic Freedom, and it's a vision at dusk as the sun is setting, the sky goes super pale blue with a slight warmth at the horizon. And it's a little wharf, a little jetty that comes out off Clark Island here in Sydney Harbour. And at the end of the wharf, I placed in my imagination and then in the painting a little copy of a new painting that's been acquired by the Art Gallery of New South Wales, purchased by the Members Fund, or the Friends of the Art Gallery. by Louise Ursen, this beautiful little French neoclassical painting. I've had that painting in my mind for months and months, waiting for it to finally arrive, and I just, I see it in places, I can imagine it in different places around the world. The beautiful and completely outdated lady brought to Sydney and just feeling desirable and attractive and yet completely out of place, completely out of context. And that juxtaposition, I think, was an amazing kind of quality that I think speaks about a lot of the perhaps the social or the psychological issues that contemporary Australians are dealing with. Because so much has changed in surrealism in the century now, since Breton first published the manifesto literally 100 years ago this year, that I'm not sure if anyone is really a surrealist in the sense that they were a century ago. So I rebrand my work as ontographic art, concerned with issues of ontology and questions of psychology. But, painting beautiful landscapes and showing the power of the beautiful landscape and the natural aspects and the transformed aspects of the landscape, that's always part of something that's going on in my paintings.
The place is Grant's Head, which is at Bonny Hills, and it's my favourite all-time place because I love the beach and surfing, and I paint a lot of the environment and the coastal environment there. It's sort of a little south of Port Macquarie. This is ink and acrylic. The first time I ever used ink, it was in a workshop that we did. Peter Griffin did some workshops with some of the artists on the mid-north coast, and he'd told everybody to bring just black ink, but I thought I'll bring coloured inks as well, and I hoped I wouldn't get into trouble. And he laughed, obviously, and he said, no, do whatever you like. And
he uses a lot of colour in his work.
He does, very, very colourful. And I loved that he just, encouraged freedom of expression. And so, and I mixed the inks in. I said, can I use some acrylic as well, because we were just doing ink? And he said, do whatever you like. And I just really enjoyed it. And from that moment on, really, I went home and I just thought I loved it. And I just have developed my own style using ink and acrylic.
Yeah, it's Margaret Fink, who's a very famous producer of films and plays. She did my brilliant career and very forward-thinking person from back then. And she's actually 92, and she's, just amazing. To get her to sit for the portrait was difficult, but we did it. Because she's a busy person.
Right.
Yes.
And I love the use of colour and the geometry in this work.
Yeah. The pictures were going to have the names of the plays and films that she'd produced, but then I just thought, no, I think I'll just do these abstract pieces.
I love it. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.